Hi, it's been a while. Here with the girls. Gonna do a quick tractor video about what we've learned that went right and what went wrong the first year in the tractor business. Number one, expect mistakes. We're all human, we're all gonna make them. It's not that you won't make a mistake, it's that on your first year, just learn from it and grow from it. One of my first failures at running a business was estimating. And my background is in construction estimating. And I've done estimates for $100 million construction projects. When you go into a new business like a tractor business, aim small, miss small. You might underestimate a lot of your jobs. I did. But I learned from those, and I took that knowledge and understood that I might have lost some money or left some money on the table, but I used that knowledge moving forward so to help me better estimate my next job. One example of failing was we thought we could estimate based off of pictures. We would have customers send us pictures, we would estimate a project to them, send them an estimate, and we thought we were actually saving ourselves money on having to drive out there and do an estimate on site. The problem with that is we were getting pictures of 16, 18, 20-inch stumps. And that was true. They were 16, 18, 24-inch stumps. What the picture didn't tell us and what we were trying to save money was the root ball all coming up to that picture that you couldn't really tell in the picture was 7 to 9 to 10 feet wide, and the customer expected their bid of a 16-inch stump would have a nice, smooth, level ground. Our lessons learned was, for most of our local stump grinding jobs, it's cheaper and just better for everyone involved, the customer and the business owner, just to drive out there and see what was happening with their stump. The customer didn't even have to be home. It's obvious of what job we're hired to do there. We'd get their address, I would drive out, I would find a stump in their yard that matched a picture. Then I would do an estimate based on overall job completion and send that back to the customer. That way, everybody's happy and there were no more surprises. Take three, tip three. Tip three, as you learn, your services will grow. We named our company after grinding stumps. We thought that that would be our primary job duty. What we found out was by not forcing us or pigeonholing into just one area of construction, it was the stump grinding would lead to a complete lawn makeover, including maybe prairie grass restoration. It could be removing old pavers, lawn leveling. It just spiderwebbed into about 6 other jobs that we now can perform. And oh, by the way, the stump grinding was a gateway into those larger jobs that were more financially better for us. The fourth topic that we did wrong: have a good plan for winter. We got right up to the end of October and we did not have a solid winter storage plan, and it was looking like, well, Scoopy and Dumpy, they're just gonna sit outside. Dumpy was purchased from the Dallas, Texas area, and it is beautiful underneath. It's a 2008 vehicle, and any bolt, any paint, any everything underneath the undercarriage is beautiful. And I did not want Dumpy to sit out over winter. Certainly not get used in the winter with the road salt up in the Rust Belt here. And I really didn't even know what we were going to do with Scoopy, the tractor, other than I knew I was not getting into snow removal. And it was at the 11th hour we devised a plan to go down to Sarah's mother's house and store all the equipment in there at the 11th hour. How you can succeed with tip 4 is start looking early on places to store. We found the only storage that had availability for us was ridiculously expensive. Have a plan for winter and start working on that plan well in the summer leading into that winter. Number 5, don't be afraid to take on debt. I know, starting a business, you don't want to go all in debt. There's good debt and there's bad debt, and you have to understand the difference between those. We bought the tractor brand new with John Deere financing at 0%. If I would have brought all cash to the table, my cash on discount, $500. It was better to take on that amount of debt. Our attachments, I wanted all brand new and I wanted everything to work right. I did not want to spend time trying to be a mechanic and fix all the whatever could have went wrong buying a used tractor or a used attachment. I did take a little more risk on a 14-year-old dump truck. Now, I did not want to take on a bunch of debt for a vehicle. I already know how to fix a vehicle. I already have some sort of mechanical ability to service an older vehicle, and I knew that I could keep Dumpy up to DOT inspection certified and I could work on that. Don't be afraid to take on debt. The cost of our attachments that we used financing to help procure, the cost of the tractor that we used financing again to purchase, we make that up before 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. It's okay to take on debt if you know you're going to go into business and you're going to put that debt into production in generating income called cash flow. So there's good debt and there's bad debt. Don't try to nickel and dime yourself and buy all used because you don't want a debt. Again, good debt and bad debt. A good debt makes you money. Bad debt is a depreciating and doesn't make you money. Tip 6, and this is a big one for me. Find a good accountant. In our area, we have state tax, county tax, individual city tax, and all those taxes all change for every individual city. Our services is another one of those things. So sometimes it's taxed, sometimes it's not taxed. Trying to figure out what job I'm doing and do I need to collect sales tax or not. Have a good accountant. Use whatever tool that they recommend that they're used to. Our accountant uses a tool called Intuit QuickBooks. I don't know if there's a better accounting software out there. There probably is. Here's what I do know. Our accountant knows QuickBooks. Our accountant is very quick in QuickBooks. So if I can make my accountant quick, that's cheap to me. All of our estimates that we convert to invoices that we send for our customers, they all have drop downs. So all of my services is it taxable? It's just a radio button, and she built out the entire boilerplate for it. All we have to do is input the address on where I'm working, the different services that she already populated, and it knows exactly how much taxes I need to account for, gives me the rate, and it also hooks directly to their card reader. So if the customer wants to pay online, they can do that. If they want to write me a check, they can do that, and I have my tax right there. Or if they just want to pay by any major credit card there is, I can do that all in one-stop shop. have a good accountant. I promise you, whatever your accountant costs, they will save you tenfold on the back end. Tip 7 was a hard one for me. Don't be afraid to charge more. Just using round numbers, and I'm not saying these are rates or right or wrong. Say $100. If you get into stump grinding's relatively repetitive. I mean, the stumps may change, the area might change, but overall, what you're doing kind of is repetitive. If you find that you're getting more and more efficient, it's okay to charge more and working up to providing hard bids. When you first start off, it could be argued that you shouldn't even charge anything. Well, it's hard to find a client that doesn't really know you and say, I'm just going to do the job for you free and not scare them away. So it's okay, and I'm just using round numbers. Start off with $100 an hour. Maybe it's $50 for your area. Maybe it's $500 for your area. Again, don't get hung up on the number. It's just for reference. And when you start going out and you start getting better and better and you're more efficient in the area of your expertise, feel free to start charging more and more and more. You'll only know that with the more jobs you do, the more experience you get, and the ability to complete those jobs faster and faster. But don't be afraid to charge more and charge what your equipment are worth. Number 8. So you just started a tractor business. Awesome. The best rule is number 8. Don't be afraid to walk away. I know. When I was starting off too, I was hungry. I wanted every job. I wanted a 100% what's called closing ratio. If they called me, I got the job. Didn't matter the price, didn't matter what I was doing. I needed 100% closing ratio. That could have got me into a whole lot of trouble. And here's where I got smarter with. Don't be afraid to walk away. If you start a job, you're in it to win it. I hope by now you have all of your commercial general liability, your inland marine, your commercial motor vehicle insurance, all these different insurances that you do need to operate legally. I remember one job very early on, and it was stump grinding shrubs. It was a shrub row right on a fence row, and the customer said, I just cut down all these shrubs and I need you just to grind them out. They're no more than 3 to 6 inch diameter, but it's for about 60 foot long of my property line. Terrific, gravy job, right? I get out there, I show up. Yep, all these stumps, excuse me, are right on the property line that used to have a chain link fence, that the chain link fence was taken down, and the stumps that grew into the chain link fence were all there, and I was supposed to grind them out. I walked away. Knowing what I know now, maybe I could use a front end loader, maybe I could put a chain, maybe I could pull the stumps. But even that, trying to pull a stump with a tractor can either go simple or you could be in it for an hour on a 4-inch stump. It just goes every way. But here's my advice to you. Don't be afraid to walk away. I walked away from that job and I was happy to. Tip number 9, spend money on a good phone service. Starting off, go into your computer and search for something, and the search engine that you're using, it was that person has a phone option, and you can pay, I don't know, $10 a month at $12 a month, and you can have a brand new phone number, and it will handle all your voicemails, text, and it does a great job of spam blocking is what they call it. It does such a good job of spam blocking. I was not getting phone calls. I was not getting texts. I was not getting notifications. The phone line went dead. The only jobs we got were through various other social media platforms and being able to communicate with clients. On the rare opportunity we gave a client our phone number, they would call us. I would have no idea. Nothing. Radio silence. Not that there was a spam block, not that I missed a call, not a voicemail, just nothing. Pretty soon I had to follow up with my clients and talk to them and say, hey, do you still have XYZ job? And they'd be like, no, I hired Acme Stump Grinder, who actually would return my calls. And I was very frustrated at you and your company for never returning my calls after we initially talked. That hurt. But it wasn't just one customer that had that same story to me. It was multiple customers. I actually got hired on by 2 subcontractors, and to this day, I have no idea if they've ever called me again. I have no idea how many customers I lost, other than I finally went back and started following up with some of my customers saying, hey, I haven't heard from you in a couple weeks. And that's when they one after another started saying, yeah, we're trying to call you. And it's like, you just went radio silent on us. It was that day that we went up to the phone store, the cellular phone store, and we added a second phone number right to my phone. And now I have my business number and my personal number and can toggle between them two, all ported over to my main phone carrier. I have missed 0 calls. I've had 0 missed business opportunities from that. Number 9, get a good form of communication, because communication will be your lifeline to your business. And number 10, which could be number 1, it all goes back to due diligence. Do your due diligence. If you need a license for your state, county, or area, make sure you know that. If you need a DOT number, make sure you know that. Your insurance, make sure you're insured. Make sure you're not just starting a business and you don't have a business license. You don't have the right insurance. You don't have the right accounting software for you. You're just going to go out and do cash under the table. Don't be that guy. There are enough contractors out there doing this fly-by-night stuff, cash under the table, no taxes. Don't be one of them. I don't want an accident happen to me. I certainly do not want an accident happen to you. But here's the thing about accidents. We can't control them. Sometimes they just happen. It could be on the roadway, which is a high probability. If you are going for commerce, is the word, if you're going out for hire, and you get into a motor vehicle accident, will your personal auto insurance cover you, the trailer, and your equipment? I asked my personal auto insurance policy person I work with, and the answer was no. I actually needed commercial motor vehicle insurance when I was going out there. That triggered, I needed a DOT number, which triggered, 15 million other things. Now, even though I have a DOT number, even though I just drive a 1-ton pickup, cab chassis pickup, even though my trailer is right at the Renegade level, 10,000 flat pounds, I'm not obligated to have a Class A CDL, even though I went and applied and got my Class A CDL. I didn't have to. But before I even put a shovel in the ground, it's called, wrench time, I had all of my insurance squared away. I had my business all squared away. I had sales tax all squared away. Those are all things I was thinking about in the future. And we just went through tax season, and it was simple. I had my accountant all set up, who set me up for success. So both of us were successful in making sure that all of our taxes are applied. I worked with my insurance agent to make sure that all my insurance was covered for everything I have to do up to and including my commercial general liability insurance. Will a simple umbrella policy on your current homeowner's insurance work? Hey, maybe. I'm not an insurance guy. For me, the answer was no, I would not be covered. Scary. If something happens, God forbid an accident happens, where does the lawyer stop? Where does the commercial motor vehicle inspector stop once I get pulled over? Where does a homeowner stop when I damage something on their property, which maybe I blew out a retaining wall, the foundation cracked, or some other $1 million thing, right? Make sure you do your due diligence, start your business off above the table, and do it all legally. If you start it that way, come tax season into the next year, everything is just going to run so much more smoother. All right, so that was a quick 10 bullet point list on things we did right, things that may have not went right, and hopefully will trigger some thought process to you if you actually think about starting a tractor business, a landscape business, lawn cutting service. Whatever it is, those were a quick high level 10 ideas to help spur the thoughts. Hey, if you like this video, make sure you check out the other ones over here. Like, share, and subscribe as always. Cheers from the Bulldog.